Hi guys and welcome back to SEEEyyyyaa. There are some great games on sale this week. Let's check out the best ones. You'll know by the price if it's available in your area, and you'll also know by the image whether there's a physical release available. A big thanks to our patrons who support us each and every month, and to all the new people that have joined that, we really do appreciate it. If you want to join our Patreon, then all the links are down below. Please leave a comment, let us know what you're enjoying this week, and as always, well, let's jump into the list. The first game is Killer Queen Black from Liquidbit. This is currently 50% off on the Eshop. It's basically a fast-paced 4-on-4 team combat game where there are unique weapons. There's a sword, Morningstar, laser stinger. I believe Glen and I played this way back when it was actually pre-launch back at EGX, April maybe 2018, even 2019, I'm not sure. But it's got a really nice big following and a decent enough online community. There are 5 different character skins that you can choose from. You can play against the AI opponents if you want, but what's really nice is they included a spectator mode so that you can sit and learn basically skills based on decent players. It's a very fun game, this one, and it's been a bit overlooked. 50% off, now's the time to pick it up. Next up, we've got Hungry Shark World from Ubisoft. This is 80% off at the moment. If you remember way back, I think it was the Mega Drive, Echo the Dolphin. Imagine that on steroids with a shark, and you're going to be nowhere near what this is like. But still, it has some of the charm from that game. You play as a shark who's essentially going around and terrorizing everyone. There are 20 different ones to choose from, and it's a game about causing carnage and just having fun. For the price they're asking, you could go far wrong, but this sale does end in about a day, so if you're going to get it, then pick it up before the 3rd. You often hear of games being called mobile-like on the Nintendo Switch, and it's used predominantly as a negative. The next title is Timberman Verse from Forever Entertainment. It's currently 90% off. I promise you, for the price they're asking, it's around about 10p or 20 cents. It is more than worth it. It's a very addictive, a little bit mobile-like experience, but you're essentially 4 people chopping down trees or tires or whatever it is as quickly as you can. Really simplistic controls and a high score chasing game is very fun indeed. I challenge anyone to spend 20 cents on this and not enjoy what they've just purchased. This sale goes on for the most time, ending at around about the 20th.
Plenty of game modes to choose from, over 50 characters to unlock, and a lot more. Timberman versus bigger, better, more chops. Wood not included.
On to something a little bit different then, we've got Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom from FDG Entertainment. Now if you're not familiar with the history of the Monster Boy games, there was a bit of a split down the middle where 2 companies took 2 different paths with the franchise. If you play Dragon's Trap, this is slightly different to that title, but it's a brilliant game. It's a really nice looking reimagining almost of a classic. It's 50% off on sale at the moment. There are 6 different forms that you can take on, with over 15 hours of adventure gameplay to enjoy, and it has that hand-drawn style that is, in my opinion, one of the best ways for them to remaster or remake classic style games. Everything's running at a silky 60 frames per second, and there's HD Rumble support and a lovely soundtrack. A very good title. This sale ends on the 11th. Next up then, we've got Figment from Bedtime Digital. I think this was a game that Glen reviewed. Can't remember. check out the channel. I think we've got a review of this one. It looks really interesting, and I know that it was one that we enjoyed. It's currently 65% off and just seems a lot more chill than many of the titles, perhaps even on this list. You join Dusty and his optimistic friend Piper on an adventure through the mind. It's an action-adventure game, and yeah, well, it plays out in the human mind. Everything's really surreal and unusual. And as new thoughts and feelings start to enter this brain, it changes the environment that you're in. At 65% off, perhaps worth picking up.
Defeating a nightmare, I'll confess, should put an end to all this mess.
Run all you want, Fartface! We're coming to get you!
There are fears to fight and a hero never sleeps.
Look at this place! The trauma's already taking root!
I'm saving my step for kicking your butt.
Let's go for something completely left field, and it's ships from Ultimate Games. You take control of 3 special purpose ships and perform missions around the Baltic Sea. This is 90% off, taking it around to about £1 or your regional equivalent. There's even a special game mode where you have to take direct control of the different crew members and repel pirate attacks. A bit like those viral videos you see on YouTube. I'm not saying this is the greatest game ever, but it's certainly something a bit different, and at the price you're asking, about I'd say half a Savoy and chips, you can't go too wrong. There's a lot of strategic elements to it as well if you're a fan of strategy, but it is a simulation slash lifestyle slash strategy game, so just know what you're getting into. The nerd is certainly real with this one, and it's going to appeal to a certain type of player. I'm all about the strategy titles at the moment, so next is Automata from Team 17. It's essentially a resource management puzzler where you design kitchens, program machinery, and you watch everything then come to life, and that's exactly what it says on the eShop. There is a demo of this one if you fancy trying it out, but essentially every environment acts as a spatial awareness puzzle. It will be absolutely rammed with machinery, with things going from left to right, connections made all over the place to try and make an efficient design that just works. It does have a campaign where you'll be working through the business world, undertaking different contracts, but there's also a sandbox mode here as well if you'd want to just go crazy and design something completely off the wall. This one's currently a decent drop in price and might be worth checking out, and check out the demo if you just want to give it a go.
A business human with entrepreneurial flair. Or a big thinker ready to take on any puzzle.
Next up then, we've got a game that's essential on the Switch. It's essential on any platform. It's brilliant, and it's being released at a reduced price as a sale and kind of a pre-purchase sale because there's a new DLC. It's Dead Cells, the Bad Seed bundle. Now the Bad Seed DLC on its own is only about £5, but you can get the whole game with the 2 DLCs. It's a side-scrolling action platform game whereby the weapons have different characteristics. So you have your red weapons, your green, and your, I think it's purple, and each one will either be offensive or there'll be defensive based weapons. Now what's nice is as you progress through the levels you can gradually power these up so that you end up with hugely overpowered weapons. Unfortunately though, the enemies are brutal, and there's a series of boss fights as well, and they are very tricky. If you can work your way through the entire game and then destroy the boss, then you'll be one step closer. Now there are a few different routes you can take through each of the stages, and I just feel like I can't do it justice. Go and check out Glen's review. He did an excellent job of just covering all of the features of the game, and I would say out of all the titles on this list, this is the one that's an absolute essential. The next one's called Cyber Protocol from Red Deer Games. It's an arcade puzzle game set in a cyberpunk scenario. I can attest to this being absolutely addictive. Every move you make is important. It's one of those titles where it looks really bad. No offense to the developers, but when I saw the title on the eShop I thought, yeah. But after playing it for 5 minutes, it's instantly addictive. I can promise you at the price they're asking here, it's well worth it. It does have a 1 to 4 player competitive mode as well if you enjoy that. There's challenges that you can try and overcome, and you can change your style to a retro look as well. This sale ends quite soon. It ends, I believe, tomorrow, so if you're interested in picking this one up, you're gonna have to do so quickly. Last but certainly not least then is A Whole New World, which is 90% off. Now this is very much an old school title. It's a bit of an adventure platform action arcade game whereby the difficulty is cranked to 9. The story goes that the city's been invaded by monsters from the upside down world. You, the potion master, must defeat evil all alone with no tutorials or easy mode to assist you. You'll have to rely on the help of Fae, your companion fairy, and potions. So basically it's absolutely brutal and there's no easy modes or anything like that. There are more than 30 different enemies, 7 boss battles. At this price it's well worth picking up, it's a bargain. There is a new game plus mode as well, boss rush mode, there's challenge mode, and there's multiple endings. Probably not a title you've heard of, and the sale ends on the 4th. So that's it for this week. 10 more sale games, most of them ridiculously cheap. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you pick any of them up. Let me know if there are any that have tickled your fancy. And as always, for all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!